Right, this is part three of this quite surprisingly very long video. I didn't expect it to be this long, to be honest. Um, but with a lot of the resources I found on the internet, basically, and I wanted to add my own sort of views on it. Made it a lot longer than it needed to be. I'm getting a bit tired though, but we'll get through this. Now, um, there's actually four more topics I wanted to talk about. I hope I can get through them, but I feel the next one's going to be quite long. Um, I titled it "The Power of the Ectopic Beat." Now, an ectopic beat, which I've explained so many times, but once again, um, I suppose there's quite a lot of different kinds, but the two I experience are um, the ventricle one, which is feels like someone's squeezing your heart. That's like the worst kind of feeling you'll get from it. Sometimes it just feels like a slight tickle. Um, but yeah, it it feels like someone's squeezing it. It's very uncomfortable. Um, Most of the time, it's actually harmless. Um, Any times you need to, I suppose, be worried about it is when it's accompanied by tightness of the chest, um, shortness of breath, uh, nausea, passing out, um, anything else? Um, that's the main ones. That is the main ones, yeah. If you experience those with ectopic beats, then um, you need to definitely seek medical attention. Um, Having said that, even if you are just experiencing them, and just for kind of peace of mind, um, best to best to go to your GP and get recommended to the cardiology department and see what they say. In my case, I was told I had a normal sinus rhythm. Um, your sinus rhythm is kind of what causes you to have palpitations if it's abnormal. Um, and there's quite a lot of ways to uh, kind of get it back into normal rhythm. Um, if that be it's called the vague maneuver, which is like kind of holding your breath and then breathing out as hard as you can. Problem with that is you can pass out from that, so that's only recommended if someone is around you or if like a trained professional does it. But then there's easier things like coughing. There's also um, pushing out. You know, when you go to the toilet, you're doing number two. You push out really hard. Um, that can get your rhythm back into normal, well, your sinus into normal rhythm. Um, what else? Sprinkling your face with cold water. That helps. That's the only ones I can remember at the top of my head. I think there's a couple more. Um, but as I say, oh, the deficiency in certain minerals. I think it was magnesium and calcium and um, I think it might be vitamin D, possibly. Uh, the thing is, magnesium and calcium work together. I'd have to look it up again. I just know they work together. Something like calcium goes into your system, but it's the magnesium that kind of activates it. Something like that. Um, but I've also read that a lot that magnesium is good for abnormal heart rhythms and just all that in general, to be honest. So, gosh, I'm getting tired. So yeah, like I said, that's the first ectopic beat. The other one I have is supraventricle, which is literally just a extremely fast heart rate. I'm talking like 200, and to be honest, for me, it doesn't really happen often. I think I said it in my last video. Happens very rarely. The best way to describe it is just like you could be doing anything really. You could even be exercising at the time it happens, but um, you suddenly feels like someone just turned on the light switch, and your your heart rate just speeds up very very fast, and generally it's actually a um an I say a normal rhythm, a steady rhythm. Um, for me personally, what had me kind of spooked was back in the day it was a steady rhythm. Um, but of late, it's been very um, it's been very well. Hasn't been a steady rhythm. At time it's been fast, and then it started to kind of quiver. Um, and that's kind of had me a bit worried, which I'm actually uh, still in, still, still to be honest, in the process of having tests. Um, as I said, I did describe to her all my symptoms, and because of that, she said she'll put me on a 14-day Holter monitor. So when that happens, if I am still experiencing um, the fluttering, then I will make sure that that gets picked up and it can be looked into. Um, the problem was um, because of the test I had, the ECG, which can pick up a lot of things. Like I was actually quite surprised. I thought it was kind of useless, but no, it's not. It can pick up information, not just the basics like your heart rate and your sinus rhythm and how long the gaps are between the ventricles and all that sort of stuff. Um, you can actually detect like if you had a heart attack before. I think also if you're at potential risk as well. I think it can pick up like AFib, and um, you can pick up like if you've got potential potential problems with your ventricles, which then obviously will be looked into with an echocardiogram, which does a scan of your heart. Um, mine, my results told me everything was normal except, like I said, it said that I had very infrequent ectopic beats, um, and it also said I had the actual proper data, and it actually said um, I could have possibly, I think it was problem with the left ventricle, but because I had the echocardiogram, um, it was discovered that my heart was structurally good, and that's a very important fact when you get told your heart is structurally good. Um, you can have still some people don't feel reassurance from that, but it's a very very good thing. Sorry, I've got a video on the right here. Um, it's a very good thing. Because the heart is designed to handle ectopic beats. It's designed to handle being pushed really hard. Um, not I'm not saying that you should be like pushing yourself constantly all day every day. Um, but I'm just saying that it is designed to handle that sort of thing because at the end of the day, like I said, with anxiety and that, and as I said, anxiety is natural. There's times where you will need to feel it because you will need your body to react and speed up your heart rate and open your lungs up further so that you can like run faster, run for longer, sort of thing. Um, keep yawning. So that's needed. And times like that, if your heart couldn't handle it, anytime it was that fast, um, you wouldn't be, or literally you wouldn't be getting very far at all. To be blunt, um, yeah, to be blunt. So that's like very important. Now, okay, so I've explained, given the definition of topic beats. Um, I've got got a few web pages up, uh, which I was meant to read yesterday. Suppose I didn't get a chance to. So I was reading up a lot about topic beats yesterday. But let me see now. Hold on. Put that video on the left here. Okay, this is on cyclingnews.com, and it's someone's post that they made titled "Ectopic Beats." I think I typed in on Google does holding your breath cause ectopic beats, because at the time, yesterday when I took my brown inhaler, I was experiencing ectopic beats after I took it, and I wasn't sure if it was down to the fact I was holding my breath, if it was down to the fact that it was down to the fact that it was the brown inhaler causing it, and still even to now I'm not too sure. But I'm going to read this post now. Okay, so it says, my GP has said that I'm having ectopic beats. This seems to be generally harmless, but I am wondering if this will have an impact on training. These seem to be missing beats, so if this is the case and you have enough of them, will this affect the uptake of oxygen to the muscles and impact the endurance and ability to push hard? That's interesting. Gosh. The first thing the person responds with is, how does he know? Well, he had tests, obviously. Do you have ECG? Do you have other symptoms? Do you check your pulse regular? I am not a doctor, but have an arterial arrhythmia. Oh, sorry. I'm not a doctor, but I have arterial arrhythmia, which makes me interested in all these issues. The topics can be a real pain. If you have many, I would want to know why. They're usually caused when there's a premature, therefore incomplete beating ventricle, i.e. you have one normal beat, then the next one comes too quickly, and it's weak, so gap, and then a normal beat again. I call them pauses because that is how they feel. Some people have many thousands per day. Okay, I'll explain that quickly. yeah, well, he practically explained it fully. What happens is your, as I said, your heart beats normally, but then there's kind of like a trigger, and there's like a signal to beat quicker than it's meant to, and and then what happens next is you have a normal beat afterwards, but because of the quick beat and that, and the lack of like a full complete beat, um the rest of, well, the next beat kind of I suppose it makes up for the lack of the full beat or the previous quick one that came too early, and it feels, I said, it feels very forceful. Um, feels very forceful, and that's how. Well, that's the reason why you can feel it. Um, it's that kind of like, it would be like saying trying to think now of a good analogy. Um, if anything, it's something simple like you're meant to, someone's, I don't know, someone's pouring. Looking at my canister here, someone's pouring water on you, right? Like 1 liter of water on you. And they do it in intervals of like every couple seconds, or say every 10 seconds, and then um, so you're sitting there drenched or whatever. But this is, imagine this is normal. So you're drenched, and okay, you're thinking, okay, in 10 more seconds, I'm gonna get another drench. Now you get a quick drench, right? Of like, I don't know, 250 milliliters, whatever, right? So a quarter of a liter. Like after 5 seconds of that, but you don't feel it. Okay, you don't feel it. But then 5 seconds later, now when you're meant to get the normal one, right? You get the remainder of the one before. So you get like 750 plus a liter. So you're getting 1 3/4 all at once. All kind of chucked on you at the same time, and damn well you're gonna feel that sort of thing. Um, and that's an analogy of how it feels. Now, having said that, um, not everyone feels ectopic beats. Um, Watching a video which I'm going to talk about later. This guy I subscribed to. Um, he said some guy came to his office and he was having 20,000 ectopic beats a day, right? 20,000. That's that's insane. People have hundreds and people have thousands every day, but a lot of people don't feel them. So that's why I think to myself, possibly I do feel them, but not every single one of them, because I don't know how many I have. All I'm being told is very infrequent. That could mean I have like 500 a day, but I just don't know it. You know what I mean? I only feel like 6 of them. So he's having 20,000 because he doesn't feel anything, right? And the cardiologist said that he has a structurally good heart, which is once again very, very important. Um, there was no need of like treatment or whatever. Because like I said, his heart was fine. Ectopics aren't, and if he wasn't, as he said, he wasn't experiencing any other symptoms. Um, so he was kind of like fine to go on and do what he wanted. The guy just said to him, if anything, just lose a bit of weight and that because it will hurt your blood pressure and whatnot. And that was all. So the next part of the message says, this guy says he's not even a doctor, so not even to like, don't really like listen to people too much because don't even know what the hell they're talking about. In effect, you have largely missed ventricle beats, so yes, it must, you know what I mean, it must effect oxygen carrying around the body. They are supposed to generally be harmless, but can be a real nuisance. You have to decide how much that applies to you. Go on the internet, try Wikipedia to start with, and research it. Does your doctor know you train? Is your quality of life? So if you are not happy, pursue it. Being fitter should be better. There are drugs to help reduce them, but some of the side effects are far worse than ectopic. Some find the drug okay. Like, oh God. For one, he's not a doctor, so he doesn't know what he's talking about, so he shouldn't say it must affect oxygen carrying around the body. He doesn't know that. It possibly might, but who knows. If anything, the guy could be getting more oxygen if he's getting an extra beat. Then he's telling the guy to go on Wikipedia to start researching it. He's already started researching, that's why he's on this forum trying to ask people who know what they're talking about for advice. Clearly you're not one of them. If he goes on Wikipedia, what he's going to get is like these hard sort of scientific facts words, like not real people talking real things. Right, next person. Jeez, oh gosh, I've gone way too far. Unless you're getting several of these a minute, they are nothing to worry about. I get a handful every day, and although unpleasant, they do not affect me in the slightest. The missing beat is caused by prolonged refill of the heart in response to a quick-fire ectopic beat. You would have to be getting a very high number of these for it to be an impact on oxygen delivery to your body tissue. Occasionally, a moderate amount of beats will not affect your training rating. Make sure you're getting enough rest and relaxation. The stress response increases the propensity for ectopic beats, as adrenaline encourages the electronic signals of the heart to bypass the sine node, atrial node, the pacemaker, and initiate an ectopic beat. Bingo! True, everything there is true. As he said, if you're getting like loads and loads a minute, right, then that's when you need to get like looked into. But like, for example, in my case, like I said, they only happen like a few, maximum I'd say like maybe 6 a day, right? And last night I had like 4, like just before I went to bed, which is kind of unsettling that, but I was okay because after reading and watching this guy's videos, it really did reassure me a lot. But as he said, as I explained earlier, it's caused by prolonged refill of the heart in response to quick-fire ectopic beat. Yeah. Like I said, make sure you get enough rest and relaxation. Because stress can cause them. Because stress causes adrenaline, which causes ectopic beats. Gosh, this guy again, Arrhythmia Rules. I swear he's just on here to scare people. That his name is actually Arrhythmia Rules. He's copy and pasted the guy's previous message and said, I think not quite, which makes no sense. Most of the heart's cells have the potential to initiate an electronic action, stimulating the heart muscle contractions and pumping the sinus nerve position in the right atrium, which generates pulse slightly quicker, so will generally initiate the heartbeat. The electronic activity will then spread through the arterial heart muscle, causing a muscle contraction. It will then be momentarily delayed through the AV node to stimulate the ventricle muscle, similarly spreading through the muscle, causing a contraction and pumping. You need to delay through the AV node, or the atria and ventricle would beat together. Pretty useless arrangement that would be. Yeah, I have read that as well, actually, to be honest, that heart cells can initiate it by itself, but what the other guy was saying about stress and that is true as well. While adrenaline does stimulate the sinus node, so does a whole range of nerve stimuli, both the vagal and sympathetic system. It's their job to speed it up and slow it down. For athletes, it is frequent raised vagal tones, which encourages arterial misbeats. However, worry, anger, stress, alcohol, caffeine. Yeah, that's what I read. Yep, that's what I read. And I copy and pasted this part. Basically, like I said, adrenaline can be caused by many things. Like I said, stimulates so I think it's meant to be vagal, sinus node. Sorry. As it says, it's crazy because he says it can be stimulated by worrying, anger, stress, alcohol, caffeine, relaxation, for crying out loud, walking, shock, large meals, ejaculation, breath holding, and in all honesty, worry, anger, stress, alcohol, caffeine, relaxation, walking, shock. You know what? I probably have experienced the topic beat through, say, every single one of these. Every single one of them. Worrying I've experienced, anger, stress. The only one I haven't is probably alcohol. Caffeine, most likely, but I just didn't realise. Relaxation, yep, like last night. Walking, yep, experienced with walking. Shock, yep. Large meals, not sure about large meals. Ejaculation, yes. Breath holding, yes, that was yesterday. Or every day, to be honest, since I'm using that brown inhaler and I gotta hold my breath like 10 seconds. And he says that there's a lot more. With ectopics, that you feel this is an issue with ventricle beats, not the atria. The premature ventricle beat will have been stimulated by an electrical impulse from the ventricle muscle. As everyone has said, these are harmless and unimportant, except the person having them. If you have lots, should be a real pain. They will affect blood flow for every beat. Effectively miss only if you have a history of prior heart attacks. You really have lots. Is there normally a need for further investigation? But you should still talk to the doctor. Alcohol, coffee can encourage them, of course. Does hard exercise, especially endurance sports like cycling, physical activity can increase electrical distribution in both atria and ventricle. Now, the caffeine, right? I stopped drinking anything with caffeine in it, right? Quite a while ago, to be honest. Just to try and reduce the amount of ectopics I was having. And even when I reduced it, I was still obviously experiencing them. Because there's so many ways you can experience them. Now, also, when I exercised really hard, for the rest of I'd exercise hard in the morning, right? And then for the rest of the day when I was at work, I would have loads and loads and loads and loads of ectopic beats. I remember one day when I was working, or 2 days working out hard, and I went into work normal day, and literally soon after starting my shift, I started experiencing ectopic beats. Had 2 in a row, then it sped up my heart rate. I had to sit down for like 5 minutes to calm down, and then I was fine for like a couple hours, and I went upstairs to do my work. Then at the end of near the end of the shift, it came on again, and it literally would not persist. And I was having several a minute. I was having several a minute, and I feel that when I look back now, I think that was the first time where it felt like it's starting to feel now. Like um, it wasn't a like squeezing pain. Well, it was, but it wasn't as brutal as sometimes when it's a really hard squeezing pain. But it was loads of minor ones over and over. And looking back now, it's like they say if you have several minutes, they need to be investigated. Problem was I didn't know how to kind of aggravate it again. But that day shook me up, and I was worried that it was because of work that caused it. But after doing research now, I know it was the exercise because also um, it was another day in the morning as again I was working out hard, and my mate said I'm gonna come around his house later just before work, which I'd done. When I was on the phone, I had an ectopic beat after I spoke to him, and then I walked to his, and it was on my mind obviously. Then I walked to his, and I was sitting there and everything was fine, and then I started walking to work really fast. Had ectopic beats again, like 2 in a row. So I decided to get the bus. Then for the rest of the shift, I was just having them over and over. And I think I told the story already. And then I decided to get the bus home. And I saw it. So I decided to run for it. As I ran for it, I only ran for about I wouldn't even say 10 seconds. And when I was walking up the stairs now, I felt more ectopic beats. And I think, in all honesty, that probably needs to be investigated, to be honest. As I said, I think in my previous video, or this one, I can't remember, I said so much. When I got my thoughts now, I probably need to try and mimic these sensations, so they can be investigated and that to be told if they're harmless or not. But I still believe they're harmless after yesterday's watching all them videos. As I said, as I've been told, my heart is structurally good, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's another thing. Um, the last thing this guy says is studies now show 5 to 10% of seriously trained endurance athletes, like cyclists, will develop an arterial arrhythmia compared to less than 1% of less fit population. When I was at work and when I get bored and I just look out the window, and basically there's this woman, right? And she literally jogs like around like 3, 4 o'clock. I think every single day. And I think to myself, I'm a bit worried about her because, for one, whenever she's running, she looks really, really exhausted, like she's about to collapse any second. And like obviously, as I've read and I've done research on, when you keep doing endurance exercise, right? Like I'm saying, but then these people like they do proper training, like all the time. So people like Mo Farah and that, right? The amount he trains when he gets older now. Thankfully, he'll stop soon because he's getting on now. But if he just carried on and on and on, you damage your heart because you put in way too much strain on it, and obviously it's a muscle, so it develops as well. So you're making it stronger, but the thing is, the ventricles in it will enlarge, and that which can cause issues, and that's what the person's basically trying to say here. And sometimes it's not that bad to be not as fit as people you see on the TV with like six packs and everything, like just because they're um, eating healthy and training like really hard, like I don't know, 4 or 5 days a week, and that doesn't really mean shit because at the end of the day, um, they could be damaging themselves in a sense. I would just say exercise, but um, don't overdo it, sort of thing. Um, that's all I would say. Really, just don't overdo it. Uh, yeah, that's all I say. Right. Uh, okay, here's another post. Title is "What the Consultant Says About Ectopic Beats." Hello. No, I am not a heart consultant, but I just saw one and interrogated him. Oh my gosh. Oh, and before you think I am being flippant about ectopic talks to Miss Inchy about how much they worry me, first, and I quote, there are two types of people, those who notice having ectopic beats and those who don't. Yep. And sadly, I am one of them who does experience the feeling of them. Whereas, like I said, the guy who had 20,000 a day doesn't experience any of them. Sometimes it's a blessing, I suppose. Sometimes it's not, because there's a lot of people who don't have symptoms of stuff, and they can't do anything about it because they're not feeling anything, sort of thing. So yeah, it says first, and I quote. So obviously that's what the doctor says. There are two types of people: those who notice having and those who don't. In other words, everyone has ectopic heartbeats. Some more frequent than others, but most people just don't notice them or ignore them. And now there's three types of people. One, people who don't feel them. Two, people who feel them and ignore them. And three, people who feel them and worry about them. I'm personally trying to move into that second group, where I feel them and ignore them, and I'm getting there. I said with the help of knowledge and these videos that this guy has been posting. So yeah, second, it says there is a slight relationship between ectopics and stomach complaints, but only in that your heart sits on your stomach. So if it's bouncing up and down with odd beats, then it may cause dyspepsia. I don't know what that is. And also feel like it is your stomach that has twitched rather than your heart. That explains why a lot of us burp after or during a bout of ectopics. I wouldn't say burp. I do gasp. Maybe that's what I mean. Hold on. Third, a consultant would not normally treat ectopics any more than they would treat hiccups. I wish I had asked now, but I got the distinct impression that he considered ectopic heartbeats and hiccups on par for health risks. My throat's really going now. For information purposes, I went after having lots of ectopics, varying from about 1 an hour to 10 a minute over the past 3 months. I have borderline blood pressure, 130/90, and I'm taking 20 milligrams of propranolol, which incidentally he said were placebo. He wouldn't bother prescribing less than 18 milligrams per day. I think that reduces your heart rate or something like that, or your blood pressure. Hold on. Let me quickly Google that. I think it does. Or it does both. They are going to give me a 24-hour pulse trace, a Holter monitor, I think. This is purely so he can identify which ventricle the ectopics are originated in, so he can pick the best drug if I decide to have treatment. they are also going to scan my heart to see if there's enlargement from the raised blood pressure, which he doesn't expect, to put my mind at rest that there's nothing wrong with it. For treatment, unless I decide I can't live with ectopics, he won't do anything. If I do, then he will either prescribe a targeted beta blocker, or if there is a risk at all from my blood pressure, which the heart check will show, he will give me something that both lowers blood BP and stops ectopics. I don't think there's medication to stop ectopics, to be honest. You can reduce them. You can't. I don't think you can just stop them. Maybe she means feeling them. Inchy. And then someone's responded and says, well, the last thing the person says is, so in summary, ectopics are normal. Us hypos, hypochondriacs, worrying about them is the odd thing. Inchy, it isn't the ectopics that are the illness, hon. It's worrying, the anxiety caused by them. The anxiety needs the treatment, not the heart. I have missed beats, late beats, but it doesn't stress me. Like other things which some people find highly amusing, my heart goes out to anyone with anxiety, whether it's holy food. Well, they've got abbreviations here which I don't know what they mean. It doesn't matter if people don't recognise it as an illness. I'm just aware of how much it affects our mind and therefore our lives. Funny, I was just assured by my doctor that I don't have muscle wasting disease. I went home and experienced 5 or 7 beats while lying down to sleep. So I guess I'm the opposite Inchy. I got rid of muscle wasting disease and I'm back worrying about my ticker. Anxiety sucks. Hey, I was completely relaxed yesterday and experienced missed beats. I think it happens to everyone from time to time. Some people just appear to notice more than others. How come I get them as I lie down on my bed, or if I go to pick something up or lean up? That's exactly how it is, Peter. Bending over or lying down, and sometimes it doesn't progress to palpitation, just feels fluttery. But I guess it's got vagus nerve, but that's not something that they can test, I'm told. But I will say that if I try relaxation breathing longer out than in, then the misbeats or whatever gets worse. I breathe shallow for a while and they pass. So for me, that means vagus nerve since extending that out breath stimulates them. I've heard that as well. Oh gosh, I should go to bed soon, to be honest. I get that as well. Like when I bend over, that's sometimes when I feel them. That's why generally when I bend over to get anything, I prep myself and prep myself to say you might experience one when you're bending over. Just be ready for it, sort of thing. So yeah, I have heard that. And people saying lying down as well, which is the worst one, I think. Yep. Okay, propranolol, anxiety medicine. Fair enough, that's why I called it placebo. I can't bother to read that post about ectopic beats. Practically those 2 last posts kind of explained everything, to be honest. Right, youtube.com. Yesterday I discovered this guy called I can't remember his name. He was an Indian cardiologist. He liked to mention that he worked in York. He has a lot of videos about ectopics, palpitation, everything. He seems to be uh, not only a cardiologist but also very sympathetic to the fact that this worries a lot of people. And the video and well, the page is not loading again. But now I've got internet because I'm watching this live stream on Twitch. But this guy has a ton of videos, like I said, on Ectopic Beats and whatnot. And even I described earlier about the man who had 20,000, but he had a structurally normal heart. So it was not a problem. We just didn't experience them. Most people, most people experience them. The fact of the matter is, some, like I said earlier, some people just don't feel them. They have them, they just don't feel them. And that's just the thing you got to remember. So from yesterday, when I watched the videos, and the more I watched, the more settled I felt. Because for one, like I said, he seemed to listen and be very sympathetic. Whereas I think that a lot of cardiologists, they're more like, oh, I've heard this all before, sort of thing. When the person comes in, like maybe even when I came in, I've heard this all before. This person just needs to calm down. Because I've seen like little case studies and that, and they say these are the sort of questions you ask them. How long have you been experiencing this for? Do you pass out? They say, and then it says like, does the person look anxious? So there you go. But sadly, I can't get this bloody video to load. But even so, if I did get the video to load, there's not much to show. I can't show it because I'm using my webcam anyway. But I just thought I'd mention he's very good. And I followed him on Twitter. I don't know if he's allowed me to follow him or not. Yeah. So I think that is all regarding Ectopic Beats, to be honest. Me personally, my goal is to just still my anxiety, and to not embrace the fact that I have ectopics, but just continue to accept it. And okay, I'm experiencing some more, but they happen, and the only symptom I have is the feeling of an ectopic. It has affected my life in the sense that, well, it actually hasn't affected my life. It's have I been diagnosed with asthma? Kind of yes, kind of no. I just got given a brown inhaler and said to take it. But it has affected me mentally, and like I said, I'm just gonna try use the information I've gathered over these past 5 weeks to deal. Sorry, I'm hearing my parents talk. To deal with it. Yesterday, like I said, I took my brown inhaler, and after that, I actually experienced about 4 ectopic beats while I was washing up. I just accepted them and just said, okay, they're happening. Fair enough. Went upstairs, had another one. My heart rate was like the lowest it's ever been, to be honest, like 50. Then I had one, went up to like 90, and it went down eventually. After I'd say after like 30 seconds, it went back down. Even today, I went out for a walk. I was a bit anxious about leaving out the house and that. I had one just before I was about to leave, but my heart rate was like 130 before I left the door. Waited for it to slow down a bit. Went out for a walk. When I got to the first hill, after I got to the top and crossed over the road to go down the hill again, I experienced a fluttering. And I came up the hill again, and I went around again, went up the same hill again. Just felt a tiny bit fluttering, 2 flutters, very minor. Then and went up a third time in a row, and I felt nothing. And then I went a different way, a longer way, and that just showed me right there that it was the anxiety. And I did say to my mum, when I had the breathing problems and whatnot, I said to her, I don't know, I wasn't, because I hadn't had the test on my heart yet, so I wasn't sure if it was my heart, my breathing, or a fear of inclines and stairs and that.
Hi guys.
Whoa!
My name is Sanjay Gupta. I am a cardiologist.
Oh gosh.
And over the past few months, I've been doing a series of videos on the subject of ectopics, PVCs, PACs, and I've met a lot of new people, and I've come to realize how troublesome they are.
I had my eyes closed, and then I just heard, I am thinking like, where the hell did that come from? Oh my gosh. Surprised I didn't have an ectopic there. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, you probably did. He's the guy whose videos I've been watching. Very, very informative and that, very helpful. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch more of his videos anyway. But like I said, I identified what the problem was, so I walked around a bit more, went back to the places I went to on Friday, and I still experienced fluttering, but once again, it wasn't as severe as it was on the Friday. And then when I walked up the stairs of the railways, I didn't experience any fluttering afterwards. And that's the thing. It's like, am I experiencing it because I'm becoming more aware of them? As the guy says on the video, because you're kind of waiting and listening out for them, you're more aware of them, and every time it happens, then you remember it, and it stays in your memory. So you kind of listen out for it more, and it's a vicious cycle. And that's what's happening with me. Like what I do even when I come up the stairs in my own house, my heart might be beating fast, and I get in my room and that, and I'll be sitting there, or whatever, or lying there, waiting for it to slow down, and I'll be like waiting for it to have an ectopic beat. The same when I walk up the hills and that, I'm waiting for it. I'm listening out for it, and that's where the problem sort of lies. But like I said, so informative, so helpful. If anyone else is going through this, then I'll link the video to him, or link his channel on this video. But his YouTube channel is called York Cardiology. Only bad thing about it is that he also has a website and that where you can actually talk to him on the phone and that, but then he charges quite a bit. So you're better off just watching his videos for free, which are good enough, to be honest. Right, I think that's all I'm gonna say about the ectopic heartbeats. How long was that? 53 minutes. Oh my gosh. Doesn't feel like it, you know. It does not feel like 50. Yeah, did I say 43? 53 minutes. Fucking hell. Oh gosh. Right, okay. What else have I got to say? You know, I'm not even gonna bother to do the other two parts, but the other two parts are my old man getting back to work and conclusion. I'll briefly summarize this in the last 6 minutes. My dad, basically he had a cough. I don't know how long he's had this cough for. I don't know if it went away but it came back. My brother had a cough before him, and my dad thinks that all the times he's gone to hospital with me, well, the 2 times he's gone to hospital with me, and because of my brother, he's just developed a cough. Now his cough is extremely bad. Coughing up a whole heap of different stuff. He looks very like fatigued and very uncomfortable. And it just sounds every day getting worse and worse. Today it sounds like it did yesterday, so I'm worried still. Like most days I'm actually really worried about him, to be honest. Like I said, when I wake up I can hear him coughing up and that. I just want him to go like to get it sorted out, and he's meant to ring the doctor today, but I don't think that even happened, to be honest. I didn't mean to ask him, but he even talked to his brother on the phone and said to him he thinks he's too brave for his own good. He doesn't want to like ring the doctor. Like he kind of just he said to me the other day that it's basically, oh god, I'm getting cold now. Getting windows open. He said that the cough is like the last symptom to go, but it's like you're coughing up stuff that like how I don't even I just said to him I don't know what symptoms you're going through, but it don't sound good. Like your lungs might be like really damaged or whatever. Inflamed that like minor. So it's one of those things that I prefer to be in my situation where, okay, I am on the mend and that slowly. But I don't, like I said, I don't cough. I'm not coughing like the rest of my family are. I'm the only one who's not coughing, and they've been coughing around the house all day, every day. And I've been home most of the days. And any time I go out, it's with them, and they're coughing in the car. And once again, I'm still the only person who hasn't got anything. I did get a flu jab a few days ago. Don't know how long it takes to kick in. I suppose it kicks in straight away, I suppose. But yeah, I'm really grateful that I got the flu jab now, to be honest, because now I don't have to worry about flu. Yes. Because like I said, flu can develop into more serious things. Like I think it did in my case, where I wasn't able to even walk up the stairs because of the shortness of breath. I'm getting very, very cold now. Nearly done. I'm going back to work. Yeah, I'm very, very apprehensive about going back to work. I have been there in over a month. I do have a lot of friends at work, a lot of people who have messaged me, rung me whilst I've been off, asking me how I am. So that's good. It's not like I'm going back to a whole group of people who I despise, sort of thing. So that's settling. But I said I'm lying very nervous. I won't lie. It's not even just the fact of working. It's even the fact of getting there. Like my workplace is on a hill, and there's no way to avoid that hill. Like there's like there's like there's 4 different kind of directions you can take to reach my workplace. Like you can take from Purley side, Wadden side, Croydon side, or from South. Well, say 2 ways from South Croydon side. But every side, you have to go up a hill. Like the least, I say that the hill that's the least taxing on the body is probably maybe Wadden side. I'm not too sure about Purley, because Purley side to even get on top of it, like the level, like if you come from that area, the walkway is flat, but that's because the hill to go up the hill is way up. It's like it's right at the end of the road. So I would say the best one is probably Wadden. That is quite gradual, and it because it starts becoming an incline from really far away from my actual workplace. So if anything, I might possibly get a bus to Wadden and then walk from there. But no, I probably won't. I'll just get a bus to the bottom of the hill and try and walk up. I'm shivering now, so I'm nearly done. Oh, gosh, so cold. Conclusion. Thanks for watching. Hope the video has been very informative. I know I've enjoyed doing the research and learning more about it. I could learn a bit more, to be honest, because the way I describe it it's good, but I could work on my descriptions, and I can learn how to pronounce some of these long words. But yeah, that's all. I'm gonna end the video here. If you watch this video, have similar symptoms, then please leave a comment or message me directly. Also, subscribe and watch the videos of York Cardiology. Very good videos from him. very kind of engaging with his audience, and that very reassuring, and that, like, in all honesty, his video yesterday reassured me tenfold, to be honest. If I didn't watch his videos yesterday, then I wouldn't be um, in a good place, to be honest, or I'd be in a worse place. Um, so yeah, thank you very much, and have a good night or good day.